Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to study the next tissue. As we have completed the epithelial tissue, we are going to study the second type of a tissue, that is connective tissue. Now, what exactly is connective tissue? A tissue which connects or supports other different tissues of the body is generally called connective tissue. Correct? It is a kind of a tissue which either binds, connects or support the other tissues of the body, that is called connective tissue. Connective tissue forms near about 30% of the body, right? 30% of the body forms the connective tissue. Now here, this connective tissue is the most widely distributed type of a tissue. It contains its own blood vessel. Here, intercellular spaces are generally present, and here the entire tissue are embedded with the jelly-like homogeneous material, which is generally called matrix. Okay, so today we are going to start connective tissue. Connective tissue are of two important type. दो तरीके के कनेक्टिव टिश्यू है, एक है बाइंडिंग टाइप एंड सेकंड इज सपोर्टिंग टाइप. बाइंडिंग टाइप is nothing but which binds the tissue, that is first areolar connective tissue, second adipose connective tissue. और supporting type में हम लोग देखने वाले दो different types of tissue, cartilage and the bone. So today we are going to start with the binding type of a tissue. Now see, in binding type we have two types. One is areolar connective tissue and second is called adipose connective tissue. Let's start with areolar connective tissue. Areola, it means it is generally having the air pockets, right? Okay, so areolar connective tissue is the true connective tissue. It is the most widely distributed type of a tissue and it contains fibers, so it is generally called fibrous connective tissue. Now the location. Areolar connective tissue is generally located beneath the skin, that is below the skin, and in between the muscle, skin and bone. Muscle, skin और bone के बीच में और हमारे skin के नीचे ये areolar connective tissue located होता है. Structure. Areolar connective tissue is made up of two components. One is called as the fiber and second is called as the cell. सबसे पहले शुरू करते हैं fibers. Now there are two types of fiber. Okay. First one is called white fiber and second one is called yellow fiber. Okay, so first one, white fiber. White fibers are long, wavy and unbranched, right? White fibers are long, they are like a wave and they are unbranched, right? Okay, now these white fibers are generally non-elastic in nature. White fibers are generally made up of a protein called collagen and that's why white fibers are also called as collagen fibers. Okay, तो ये जो आपके white fibers रहते हैं ये आपके collagen protein से बने रहते हैं, that's why they are generally called as the collagen fiber. Okay, now white fibers generally forms your tendon. Right, white fibers आगे जाकर आपका बनाते हैं tendon. Now what is tendon? Bone to muscle joint is generally called as the tendon. ये हमारा bone है और यहाँ पे हमारा muscle है. So bone to muscle joint is generally called as tendon, which is generally formed by white fibers. Okay, तो white fibers आपके wave के जैसे है, वो unbranched है, non-elastic है. They are made up of collagen protein, so called as collagen fiber, and they form tendon. Second is yellow fiber. Can you see some fibers are straight, right? ये straight है और आपके branched है, right? So the branched and the straight fibers are generally called as the yellow fiber. Yellow fiber are elastic fibers. They are elastic in nature, right? Yellow fibers are generally made up of a protein called elastin. That's why they are generally called elastin fiber, right? ये yellow जो fiber है वो elastin protein से बने गए हैं, इसलिए इसको elastin fiber बोला गया है, right? And yellow fiber आगे जाकर आपका बनाते हैं ligaments. Do you know what are ligaments? Bone to bone joint. One bone is here, another bone is here. The bone to bone joint is generally called ligament. Okay, so there are two different types of the fibers present in the areolar tissue. That's why it is called as fibrous connective tissue. White fiber also called as collagen fiber, yellow fiber also called as elastin fiber. अब देखते हैं different types of the cells present here, right? So there are three different types of cell. Number one, fibroblast cell. Number two, macrophages, and number three, mast cell. Okay, so let's talk about the first fibroblast cell. Can you see the shape? Fibroblast cells are star-shaped or spindle-shaped cell, right? Okay, they generally contain a large nucleus and some cytoplasm. These fibroblast cells are responsible for the formation of the fibers, that is the white fibers especially. Okay, so fibroblast cells are star-shaped or spindle-shaped cell containing a nucleus and surrounded by cytoplasm, and they play an important role in the formation of the fibers, especially collagen or white fiber. Second one is your macrophages. Macrophages are somewhat irregular amoeba-shaped cell. Sorry, this is not macrophages. This is fibroblast cell. Macrophages is somewhat here, right? This cell is generally called as macrophages. Okay, so now what are macrophages? Macrophages are somewhat irregular amoeba-shaped cell, and macrophages plays an important role in phagocytosis. I told you what is phagocytosis. कुछ हमारे बॉडी में ऐसे cells रहते हैं which starts engulfing the other cell in the solid form. They are generally called phagocytic cell. So macrophages, they are irregular amoeba-shaped cell. Fibroblasts are star-shaped cell. And the last one is mast cell. Can you see this oval shaped cell? This oval shaped cell are generally called as mast cell or histiocyte cell, right? Mast cells or histiocyte cells. Now this mast cell secretes heparin, histamine and serotonin. These mast cells are responsible for secreting heparin, a powerful anticoagulant which prevents the coagulation of blood. कोएगुलेशन को रोकने के लिए आपका एक एंटीकोएगुलेंट रहता है जिसका नाम है हिपैरिन, जो आपके इस मास्ट सेल में से निकलता है. और हिस्टामाइन एंड सेरोटोनिन. हिस्टामाइन ये आपका ऐसा एंटी इंफ्लेमेटरी सेक्रीशन है. एंटी इंफ्लेमेटरी सेक्रीशन मतलब जब इंफ्लेमेशन होता है तब सेक्रेट होता है. और आपका सेरोटोनिन प्लेज एन इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन ऑफ ब्लड वेसल. तो ऐसे तीन डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सेल्स है. स्टार शेप या स्पिंडल शेप, फाइब्रोब्लास्ट सेल. amoeba shape or irregular shape, that is macrophages, and oval shaped cell that is called mast cell. Now the entire areolar connective tissue is generally surrounded by a jelly-like homogeneous material. That jelly-like homogeneous material is called matrix, right? पूरे सेल में आपका मैट्रिक्स रहता है, स्ट्रोमा रहता है, which is a jelly-like homogeneous material containing its own blood vessel. That is about your areolar connective tissue. Okay, now we are going to study the second one, that is adipose tissue. Okay, so adipose tissue is a fat storing tissue. ये fat store करके रखता है, इसीलिए इसको बोला गया है fat storing tissue. Okay, now location. Okay, before that, adipose tissue is also called modified areolar tissue. Adipose tissue is a part of modified areolar tissue. Location. Location says that it is generally present below the skin, around the kidney, around the heart, around the adrenal gland, etc. किडनी के आजू बाजू में, हार्ट के आजू बाजू में, adrenal gland के आजू बाजू में आपका adipose tissue रहता है. In short, our entire body is generally covered by the skin, which is adipose tissue. Right? Now structure. Right? Adipose tissue generally contain fat storing cell, and this fat storing cells are generally called as adipocyte cell. क्या नाम दिया गया है? Adipocyte cell. क्यों नाम दिया adipocyte? क्योंकि ये आपका फैट स्टोर करता है. That's why they are generally called fat storing cell or adipocyte cell. In early stage, every fat is present in the form of fat droplet, right? But in later stage, each fat droplet fuse or unite with each other to form a larger fat globule. इसका मीनिंग ये हुआ है, अर्लियर स्टेज में आपका हर एक फैट ड्रॉपलेट के फॉर्म में रहता है, आगे जाकर वो फ्यूज होता है, कंबाइन होता है और बनाता है आपका एक लार्जर फैट ग्लोब्यूल. कभी कभी तो इतना फैट भर जाता है फैट सेल में that the nucleus is shifted at the periphery, right? Sometimes what happens, there is a large amount of the fat which has been stored in the fat storing cell, due to which the nucleus is shifted at the periphery, ऐसे न्यूक्लियस को बोलते हैं इसेंट्रिक न्यूक्लियस, वेयर द न्यूक्लियस इज शिफ्टेड एट द पेरीफेरी, राइट। और ये जो एडिपोसाइट सेल है, दिस एडिपोसाइट सेल generally produces a hormone called as leptin, leptin, right? Leptin, which generally maintains the fat and the weight of the body. हमारा बॉडी का जो वेट है, फैट है, that is under the control, वो मेंटेन किया जाता है by the hormone leptin produced by the adipocyte cell. It contains homogeneous jelly-like material. That homogeneous jelly-like material is generally called मैट्रिक्स, राइट, जिसमें आपके ब्लड वेसल्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं. दैट्स व्हाट ऑल अबाउट योर एडिपोज टिश्यू, फैट स्टोरिंग टिश्यू which generally stores the fat, called adipocyte cell secreting hormone leptin which maintains the fat and the weight of the body. Now tell me the function of areolar and adipose tissue. Areolar tissue ये true modified tissue है, ये आपका एक ऐसा fibrous connective tissue है जो आपका different parts of the body या different tissues of the body को connect करता है. It acts as a packaging tissue. Adipose tissue acts as a packaging tissue. What about, areolar tissue acts as a packaging tissue. What about adipose tissue? Adipose tissue is a fat storing tissue. So it acts as an insulation for the body. हमारे body के लिए insulation provide करता है, and it acts as a mechanical shock absorber, right? It prevents the body from the mechanical shock and mechanical injury. तो आज हम लोग ने कंप्लीट किया है बाइंडिंग टाइप ऑफ टिश्यू. कनेक्टिव टिश्यू का बाइंडिंग टाइप में दो है, एरियोलर कनेक्टिव टिश्यू एंड एडिपोज कनेक्टिव टिश्यू. एडिपोज कनेक्टिव टिश्यू ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज fat storing tissue, where the fat is stored in cells called adipocytes. Thank you.